Okay, an afternoon and evening update here on Sunday as we watch our severe weather across the plain states. And yes, this will shift east as we move into Monday and Tuesday. This right here is what's known as a particularly dangerous situation severe thunderstorm watch. These are reserved for some of the most intense types of events. The severe thunderstorm watch west and central Kansas, it goes in effect now through 10 p.m. Central. This is the thing that I find interesting. Widespread damaging wind gust, significant gust up to 90 miles per hour likely. Hail, very large, up to 4 inches of diameter likely, and a few tornadoes are also possible. And if you saw the video I put out earlier today, my mind really hasn't changed much on this. They're really just confirming some of this fast-moving Boeing lines of thunderstorms that will pick up as we head through the evening hours into the early overnight hours. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch a little further to the north up into South Dakota, also into Nebraska, but the highlighted area is still right here across Kansas, down into northern parts of Oklahoma, and then here in the north corner of Texas. That's where we have that PDS severe thunderstorm watch. And you can see that pretty much back to the Colorado border. Does include Dodge City, Garden City over to Wichita, not quite down to Oklahoma City outside of the watch area, but right here in the northwest corner of Texas, also into the Panhandle and far northwest Oklahoma under that PDS watch. Let's track these storms overnight because, again, they're headed east. These storms up across South Dakota will also push off to the east. And then once we get, say, past 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, notice how this is starting to bow out. So it's sort of a mesoscale convective complex taking shape here across East Kansas, also parts of Oklahoma. That starts to push towards Missouri. Now, I think it's going to weaken overnight, especially once you move past 2, 3, 4 a.m., but I wouldn't completely let my guard down. Stay weather aware in these areas overnight. The good news is you will lose that daytime heating, which will help reduce some of the severity of the storms. The thunder will be rolling up across southern Minnesota, also Iowa, into parts of southern Wisconsin. Some of these could get on the strong side too through early morning Monday. Now, as we move into Monday afternoon, our area of low pressure starts to take shape back across the plain states. Look at the snow going here into the mountains of Wyoming, into the higher elevations, sort of a precursor for that energy that's kicking across the mountains. And then widespread thunderstorms break out as we head into Monday afternoon from Nebraska, Iowa, southern parts of Minnesota, even into parts of Wisconsin as we move into the later parts of the day. And some of these could get really strong again across Kansas, northwest Colorado. You want to keep an eye, and a big day tomorrow across Nebraska with some heavy rain too. Monday's outlook includes more severe weather here across Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri. And notice how this stretches further to the east, almost bullseyeing Chicago for Monday. And this extends east into Michigan, as far south as central and southern Illinois, even parts of Missouri. The tornado threat, not zero in these areas. You can see these same areas highlighted for some potential rotation in the thunderstorms. We will have some wind shear, and that threat pushes all the way west into parts of Colorado, back into Nebraska, and as far south as Kansas, almost to the Oklahoma border. Now, as far as what's going on across the east right now, kind of quiet here across the mid-Atlantic. We've had a few storms across Florida today that have gotten pretty strong. That will settle down as we head into Monday. There comes what's left of that complex across Missouri as we head into the Monday morning into the afternoon. And here come those storms firing across parts of Illinois, getting very close to Chicago by Monday evening. Again, some of these could be strong, a few isolated tornadoes possible in this environment, and then more storms firing up back across Iowa, also Wisconsin. That sets us up for what's going to be happening on Tuesday as this shifts off to the east, but some of these could be on the strong side too. Early Tuesday morning across Iowa, even into parts of Illinois, and then Wisconsin as that shifts off to the east. And Tuesday, by the way, is going to be a significant weather day with a large area of severe weather. In fact, Tuesday looks worse than Monday if you had to gauge them across parts of Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Wisconsin, even parts of Minnesota, and then into Michigan, once again, south into Illinois, Indiana, all the way down to Arkansas, and even northeast Texas. The culprit for the really strong storms on Tuesday will be this dynamic jet streak that's moving through here in the mid and upper levels. That will drive the storms. And then as we head into Wednesday, check this out. Another jet streak swinging through. That's going to bring another round of severe weather to some of these areas. And again, our maps don't go into Canada from the Storm Prediction Center, but I'll tell you what, watch out here into southeast Canada, from Toronto all the way back to the Detroit border, and then up to Montreal. I think this is an area to keep an eye on because look at this jet streak just moving through here. The Northeast, I would say even northern parts of New York should watch this, especially as we head into Thursday. Storm Prediction Center highlighting a very large area that is along that line of storms that will move through with that second jet streak. And then on Thursday, more severe weather. So a very active week across the country. If you like this kind of content, I hope you'll subscribe. I try to sort of break things down, showing the elements of what's going on. And here's sort of a bigger picture view of what's going on across the country. These severe storms are being really initiated by this cold pool of air that's across the Rockies, and out ahead of it's where we're seeing that severe weather. This is Tuesday. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I think you're going to be pretty warm across the east Tuesday into Wednesday. I mean, it's been chilly into places like Boston over the weekend, but now we reverse things. We warm up. By Thursday, though, here comes that cold pool of air across the Great Lakes. That's why I think right in here, Wednesday, maybe even into Thursday, watch for some severe weather. And then look at this, another cold pool of air across the west that potentially may bring another round of severe weather. Still way too early to tell, to the high plains, to the northern plains as we head into Friday, maybe even Saturday. So a pretty wild setup. And this weird setup continues. I mean, look at this. This is almost another negatively tilted trough trying to take shape across the northern plains next Sunday. What does that mean? Maybe more severe weather here, maybe even a little further south. A wild weather week for sure. May is going out with a bang. Catch you later.